Furthermore, on this Supreme Court leaker situation, another thought is hitting my head, and I promise that I will not make like 200 videos on this particular topic, and we'll try to get it all off my chest at once. But, in looking at what's happening here, the Supreme Court is basically saying that they have a right to confidentiality. Now, if you look in the dictionary, how do we even define confidentiality? You know, like just so we're aware of all of this. It's a right, the state or attribute of being secret, privacy, and yet what is it here that is ultimately under threat by this action by the court? And what was the legal basis for Roe versus Wade? It was that a woman had a right to make a private decision between her and her doctor. The ruling in Roe versus Wade was about Americans and our right to privacy. Alito is basically trying to argue that in the age of 9/11 that no one has a right to privacy. But if we take him at his word, then what the Supreme Court leaker did was perfectly justified. How is it that the American people have a right to transparency, but don't have a right to transparency, but the Supreme Court does? I mean, the staggering hypocrisy about all that is just completely unacceptable. Either the situation ought to operate in such a way that either everybody has privacy rights or no one does. So, the Supreme Court basically wants to say that, we have a right to confidentiality, but you don't have a right to privacy. Well, confidentiality is just a synonym for privacy. So they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. You and I and the rest of the American people shouldn't, because what they're basically doing is saying, silly Americans, privacy is for people that are appointed officials that you never even got the chance to vote on directly. Makes total and complete sense, except it doesn't at all. That's a sarcastic statement. I mean, what the actual fuck? And you bootlickers who are going to enable this, like you little fucking sick psychophants, are basically, the ones jamming the red, white, and blue dick up your own assholes in this situation. You shouldn't cooperate with them. You should come to the dark side and join those of us, because we've got cookies, and, the fact of the matter is that the people on their side of this equation are, the fucking degenerate fucking monsters and ghoulish fucknuts who really honestly believe that, the United States government has a right to privacy, but the American people don't. It has a right to spy on us the whole way through. That's obviously bullshit, and it's a fucking unacceptable kind of bullshit. We should be celebrating the and I don't even like the term whistleblower, really. The lamplighter who shone a light on what the Supreme Court was trying to do, a la Frank Serpico, who was a fucking hero, back during the Knapp commissions and everything, when it turned out the New York Police Department was completely corrupt. It's in a great movie from it's a little bit dated, but Serpico, it was a great fucking movie. And it really did change a lot of my views on a lot of this stuff. Like, I really do feel that way. I mean, for the longest fucking time, I've approved of this sort of thing. The leak and leak and leak and leak and leak. I mean, the Pentagon Papers were a leak. There was the whole information gathering process often requires journalists to try to get people that are inside the system to leak something that they're not supposed to. I mean, that's how journalism works. And what we're trying to do in persecuting people that shine light on things like this, we're trying to persecute basically journalists and not whistleblowers, but lamplighters, basically. These people are, though, that they are in a way blowing the whistle on what is ultimately coming as a warning for what's coming up the pike. And I don't feel that what they did is morally wrong or unconscionable on any level. I feel that the U.S. government is basically trying to have privacy rights when they're convenient to them and then deny them to everybody else. And there's no way that the American people should cooperate with that or take that shit lying down.